Let's look at every single red card and penalty decision against Arsenal this season and decide if they should be the first team in Premier League history to not get a red card or not concede a penalty throughout an entire Premier League season, which they're one game away from completing. The first potential penalty against them that wasn't given goes back to the first game of the season. We're doing this in chronological order. Saliba seems to swipe Cunha's legs, bringing him to the ground. And I think everyone unanimously agreed it was a penalty at the time, but it wasn't given. Arsenal go on to win the game 1-0. The next incident is a potential red card incident, and it's against Gabriel, which you'll see is a common theme in this video. It happened against Newcastle at St James's Park earlier in the season. As you can see, Voltemade arguing with Gabriel about something. What happened was Voltemade was going to press the ball, Gabriel was there not looking at the ball, and while not looking at the ball, puts an elbow into the face of Voltemade. Checked, cleared, no red card. Later in that same game, a penalty incident, Gabriel again. This time it looked like he handballed it in the box. VAR checked it and it wasn't given. The PGMOL after the game admitted, yes, it was a handball, we got that one wrong. I mean, obviously. A red card and a penalty incident against Gabriel in the same game. Well, he's the one who went on to score the last minute winner for Arsenal that day. Arsenal won 2-1. The next one's a penalty incident, this time in the Everton-Arsenal game. Barry gets his foot to the ball before Saliba. Saliba, thinking he's kicking the ball, kicks through Barry's foot, quite clearly takes him out, and it's quite clearly a Stonewall penalty. It was checked and cleared. No penalty, and the Premier League came out and said they got it wrong after the game. Another game that Arsenal won by 1 goal. The next one's a red card decision. Marino, who was already on a yellow card, seemed to have forgotten it and tactical fouled Morgan Rogers, dragging him to the ground. Somehow didn't get a second yellow for it. Even Dermot Gallagher agreed that this was a sending off for Marino. And Dermot Gallagher never goes against what the referee does in the match. Arsenal go on to win the game. The next one's a potential penalty incident, this time in the Arsenal-Liverpool game. Wirtz gets into the box, manages to get round Trossard. Trossard steps in, takes him out, and appears to trip him up, and it looks like a penalty. Checked, cleared, not given again. Game finishes 0-0. The next instance is a potential red card incident. Yes, this is all still this season. Timber on Anderson in the Arsenal-Forest game earlier in the season. Timber was already on a yellow card. Appeared to blatantly pull Anderson's shirt, bringing him down, stopping an attack. By definition, a yellow card. Should have been a second yellow, should have been sent off. Game ends 0-0. The next one's another potential red card, this time in the Arsenal-Brentford game, and it's Gabriel again. Already on a yellow card, Brentford are on the attack with Utara. Utara gets to the ball before Gabriel. Gabriel takes him out. Looks like a Stonewall yellow card challenge. Even Caliofori looked like he knew Gabriel was about to get sent off. Much to the disbelief of the Brentford players, no second yellow, no red card for Gabriel. Game ends 1-1. The next one's another potential red card incident, and it's Gabriel again. 1-1 just before half-time. Ball over the top, Kolo Muani running onto it to try and get through on goal. It's just him and Gabriel left. Gabriel not looking at the ball. Kolo Muani is looking at the ball, so Kolo Muani gets onto the ball. Gabriel not looking at the ball, misjudges the flight of the ball, realises in the wrong position and pulls Muani to the ground despite the ball being there to be won for him, and just jumps on the ground himself. Quite a clear pull. He was the last man. Potentially should have been sent off. He wasn't. Ended up having a huge hand in Arsenal's win. The next one's a penalty incident from the Arsenal-Brighton game. Martinelli on Matt Weaver. It seemed as Stonewall as it got. He wasn't